difficulties with deploying a tidal energy machine in Australia and around the world. There's a lot to be done, even if you're somewhere else, but it would be considerably easier in the US or Europe. So I've long believed that the technology could be used for wind. So in the last few months, I've spent some time playing around with a wind version. Now, a wind version, because of the size, because a wind machine is inevitably much bigger than any tidal machine because of the density. You know, water is sort of 900 times plus denser than air. So you know, to have a machine like you've seen in the previous video that I built, the concept machine out of aluminium, would be difficult. So I'm trying to get it to work with one arm, 2 foils, and only 1 lobe on the crankshaft. Now, what you'll see is machines that didn't work. I'm busy now rebuilding one that will work. And it's quite exciting, because what's happening is, even though we're testing it in wind, it's all testing, and the same technology and developments and innovations can then be applied to future tidal machines. So it's not totally in vain, even if it never gets deployed in a wind situation. But there are some advantages. So the other brief is because there's over 1 billion people that have no access to energy or electricity or pumped water on the planet, is what could we build? Because this technology, the linear turbine, is extremely simple. So the brief to myself was, if I went down to a local hardware shop and bought sort of the cheapest welding machine there and an angle grinder to cut up the steel, how far could I get? And what could I build with those really basic tools? So I'm asking you not to judge my engineering skills by what you'll see in the video. It's pretty poor, it's pretty rough. It looks like it's come out of a Day After Tomorrow movie, maybe you know, Mad Max, The Gone Renewable, you know, that type of thing. So yeah, we had some fun. It was interesting, and I'll talk later about some of the discoveries we've made, which will solve some of the challenges I was having with the tidal, even though I hadn't built out a prototype. Please remember that all these machines are concept, they're not prototypes. I am busy building a wind prototype, which will be ready in the next few months. And I'm going to pump water with that, because that's the simplest thing, because electricity always gets a bit difficult with the RPM, the revs per minute, you know, the fluctuation with wind speed is a bit more challenging. So just going to pump water with it in the beginning. But that's enough. I mean, there's enough application around the world just to pump water. And the other thing I learned from the conference, or was highlighted at the conference, is the enormous infrastructure. You know, I'd only ever thought about the trucks that transport the blades for a wind turbine. But it's the ports, it's the actual ships, you know, a lot of countries just simply don't, you know, if they could buy 10 or 100 wind turbines, they just simply can't drop them off there. The port facility just can't handle it. You know, most of your port facilities all around shipping containers, you know, or some flatback shipping containers, but that's about it. So enjoy the videos, but please remember they're concept type. Now, the other development that's happened, and that's why I've been a bit slow at updating videos lately, is I've also moved. So I'm no longer trying to run the wind machine in the driveway of the unit complex and scaring everybody around. I'm on a property with a bit more space, so that's also exciting, because when we want to test the wind version, it'll just be a case of, like I was mentioning earlier, you know, like you sort of you know, you see the old inventors that were inventing things 100 years ago, where they're in the workshop, they're out the workshop testing it, back in the workshop. I've got that situation now, so it's pretty exciting. And there's going to be there's a lot in the pipeline. There's a lot coming through with the wind. There's other developments. There's other technologies I'm working on. So there really is a lot in the pipeline that's going to come through in the next sort of 6 months to a year.